Hey, Taylor, thank you so much for joining me today and talking about the amazing Splay that I actually learned about it from somebody that I started working with, and I was really amazed by it. And then I learned it was on Kickstarter, and I was shocked to know that I was on Kickstarter because I back all these campaigns. And I started doing some homework, and we connected. And I think this is an amazing product that I thought I'd share with my audience and others that want to learn about this display. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sid. Appreciate it.
So why don't you just share a little bit about yourself, what you do with the company, and then we can kind of dive in and then talk about a few different topics and then ultimately demonstrate the product.
Yeah, sounds great. So my name is Taylor. I'm the director of sales with Arovia. My history lies largely in the medical field, especially working with individuals with low vision and blindness. And that's actually how I got connected with the CEO of the company, Alex, was at a low vision event in my neck of the woods here in Missouri. I'm located in Kansas City, and our business is in Houston. But with that being said, yeah, I did some tech sales involved in that low vision industry and really kind of learn what type of devices were supporting those individuals to be, kind of mobile members of society that the world has, elevated toward, especially with COVID and so many people being able to work remotely. So this ended up being positioned as a solution for those low vision individuals to use it for magnification, to get larger text and larger images off of a secondary device. So with all that being said, that's how Alex and I connected, and the rest was kind of history because I saw, the product was phenomenal. It was super easy to use, super impactful for the people who did use it. And yeah, ended up coming on board with Alex, and it's been about 6 months.
Wow, that's great. And how did Alex really create create this product? Ultimately, what got him motivated to even create this product?
Yeah, so Alex is an optical engineer. So that's how we got these kind of state-of-the-art optics put together for such a, great product. So he was traveling the world doing all kinds of, remote meetings with individuals in clean rooms and doing work in hotel rooms. So he just needed something that was larger, easier on his eyes, and he could travel with in a personal item or carry-on and still have everything he would need to do a presentation on the go. So, after years of doing that, he found there was no solution that could really accomplish that for him. And then he went and got his MBA at Rice University in Texas, and he ended up kind of using that as an incubation program for this idea and connected with his co-founder, who is our engineer and prototyper, George, who actually met at Rice, and they kind of developed this product together. And now it's been about a 10-year journey. We're going on our third Kickstarter to launch the Splay Max now. So it has not, come without its challenges. But as Alex always says, every time we find a challenge, we get to find one we can't figure out. So that's kind of how we approach this after having really created an entire new industry with the portable display market. We're now seeing like competitors come out in this space. That was really never even a market people were aware of until Arovia kind of vetted this out as something people needed.
How cool. And now this year, I know the CES show just ended. So was this the first year that the company, or was it last year?
So we've been at CES a number of years, but the last 2 years are the ones that people know about because we ultimately had some really, really great exposure. We had, upward of 20 million views on a video at last year's CES. And then at this year's, we actually had the same video. It has just something potent to just the simplicity and ease of using the Splay as kind of an innovative award winner from last year, reposting about, check these products out this year. And we got another like pushing 14 million views on that. So the last 2 years have been really impactful in that way that people are walking up and they're like, I've seen this product before. I have some, preconceived notion of this where, as I mentioned, we were kind of doing a whole new industry. And so that was never the instance. People were really, it was an educational more conversation for them to understand what this technology was. And now, people are walking up and telling us like, I've seen this thing, I've heard about this thing. And that's really exciting to see.
That's fantastic. I was just amazed, and really I thought, wow, this could really be beneficial. I do product reviews and I could see using it when videoing myself so I can have something with a big display. I have another monitor, but this makes it so much easier and it's portable. And for other content creators, how have you heard that they've really been using the Splay? Any feedback you can share from the content creator standpoint?
Yeah, absolutely. In that space, ultimately, you're always it's a crowded space like many, and so you're always looking for something to kind of delineate yourself. And ultimately, it can be used as a good background prop in videos, ultimately, if you wanted to, as well as for viewing any content you're creating in real time on a larger screen. So we have, the kind of photography world of people using it where they pop display up on site after they've taken their video or pictures, and then now they have a large screen element that they could have easily transported there with them, that they could view back any of their data, do video editing on the go. And then this is more of a benefit for anybody, but especially for content creators that are spending long hours on screens. And I know a lot of these folks have, they're on a screen for job A and then doing their, side hustle job B, and that just is even more screen time. So the Splay by nature, because it's a projector, has far less blue light output than a traditional screen. And also with the nanomaterial screen that's on the front of it, it has something called Lambertian scatter that ultimately causes those light particles to be diffused in a better way, so they're not shining directly into the eyes. So that ultimately gives you a 180-degree viewing plane for when you're doing presentations or showing someone some content. But ultimately, when you're using it for long hours of video editing or as a secondary monitor, you're going to notice notably less eye strain than you would with a traditional kind of OLED LCD monitor.
Huh, interesting. From the standpoint in the business world and salespeople and others that do presentations, anything, feedback that you've gotten from companies that are using it, and how have they used it, and any success stories?
Yeah, so we've got a ton of feedback. We're always listening. We're a lean and mean company, so we like to have our ear to the ground and kind of be listening to how people are using it and where this technology should head in the future. And bigger is always better is kind of the core message. So hence the reason we're coming out with the Splay Max, double the screen size. Our current edition is 24.5 inches diagonal, giving you about 2.5 times the size of screen space from a typical laptop. And now we've doubled that again. The 35-inch is going to have double the screen size of the Splay V1. So with that being said, that's definitely feedback we've received as far as where this company is headed to kind of serve those goals. But as far as exposure on using it, the feedback has been phenomenal. Everyone has a 50-inch TV at their booth. Having a technology that someone has literally never seen before at your booth is going to draw a lot more people in than just having an even bigger TV. Because ultimately, your job is not to, try to fit in at these trade shows and have that sleek conference look that everybody has. Your job is to attract eyes and attract conversation. And ultimately having something that you can put on a tripod like the Splay right in the front of the booth that's going to have people be drawn toward this technology they've never seen before. Conversation started, and then it really works great as kind of a segue into, using that as a method to bring people into your booth. Same thing in presentations. People are watching when you're presenting on a Splay because it has such a unique screen feature to it. It's just not another PowerPoint presentation on a projector on the wall. So it definitely has impacts as far as just pulling it out of your bag and looking like a sleek professional, and then the ease of setup and the eyes that it draws.
Wow, that's great. And it's all pretty much plug and play, and it connects from everything from your laptop to your cell phone, tablet.
Yep. So all AV is going to go through HDMI. So essentially when you're using it, it's plug and play on HDMI to whatever you want to run it to. A nice little workaround is if you wanted to do it wirelessly, we actually do have a USB-A power out jack on the back. So you could plug a Roku or Chromecast stick into that and then plug the HDMI into the HDMI slot and then do screen share from your laptop or your phone or tablet, whatever you have. So there is a workaround if you wanted to do wireless, but a lot of our folks just like that it's a simple plug and play solution and you're not messing with Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, which, can be cumbersome when you're trying to set up, especially in a place that there's 5,000 people on the Wi-Fi. So we just want to make it simple plug and play. And in the future, we're looking at incorporating things like touchscreen. So there would be a processor within the Splay itself, and it would essentially be a computer almost. So in that world, then necessarily you wouldn't have to connect it to anything. So we just want to preserve that user-friendly interface.
Wow, very cool. So I know when we started talking about demonstrating the product and putting it together and also packaging it up, maybe you can go ahead and just talk a little bit about that and showing the unit there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. So I've got my
Great.
display on here. My screen is already on. So here it is. I don't have it plugged into anything currently because I'm going to collapse it so that you can see that fun folding mechanism.
And you can use that as a projector, by the way, correct? So you can go right up the wall.
So this is going to be a 2-in-1 product. So you can use it as a screen, or this back projector can actually be removed from the shroud just by unzipping this back access point, and then you can remove the projector through that zipper. And then it's actually going to be the shortest throw projector on the market. So you're going to get up to an 80-inch image. You're going to get up to an 80-inch image within 5 feet of the wall. You don't need a whole conference room in order to do a presentation. I mean, truly, it's got automatic keystone correction. So it's also going to be a rectangular image, even if you have it propped up at a awkward angle. Automatic keystone correction, full-size image on the wall. But with all that being said, basically, the Splay folds down into a super compact size here. And I've just got a nice little hard case that it sits in. And I will just move my camera down a little bit so you can see that case there. And basically, it just sits right inside of that footprint with the arm holds that are going to protect the screen when you're zipping it. But essentially, it fits into this extremely small, easy to carry case. I've traveled with 5 of these in a personal item on a plane before with no issue. So essentially, it has this flap on the front too. So you can undo that and actually charge a device while it's still in its case. And you can check the battery just by pressing that button once. It's going to light up and show you the battery indicators. I'm fully charged right now. And then as you can see on our interface here, basically we've got that HDMI, we've got a USB-C that you use to charge this device, and then the USB-A I mentioned, and that's going to be your power out. So you could also use this as a battery pack if you really wanted to charge like a phone or a camera in the field if you needed to. And this battery will run anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, depending on the brightness you have it set at, because there is going to be a brightness setting and a sound setting that you can adjust on the back side. So when I take this out, I'm just going to unzip my case, open the top. There's a nice little handle on the back that's nice and ergonomic and friendly. And basically all I'm going to do is push this back cuff. I've got a TV, as simple as that. So
genius.
Yeah, it's honestly engineered incredibly well. We've had operators use it in outdoor environments for up to 40 days, 12-hour days. They're returning it with no sort of operational, inefficiencies. They're saying it worked great, and this is a really durable product. These arms are not going to break. Like, this thing is really not as feeble as you may think it is because of these arms. So yeah, when you're just pushing on it, it just collapses and expands. On the back side here, we've got the adjustment. And one thing I want to note for anyone that would get this product or anyone checking it out is there's a focus adjustment here. So that's going to be keeping you having a crisp image, especially if you're switching between projector mode and display mode, because obviously this is a projector and we need the image to be in focus. So if you take it out of the shroud and use it in projector mode, you're going to want to adjust that slide. It just slides back and forth like this. It's super easy to adjust, but a lot of people just miss it because it's right under that cuff. And whenever you're in your display mode, you just will have it in the same spot. So you don't necessarily have to adjust it every time. But if you notice you have a slightly blurry image, you just have to adjust your slide maybe 1/4 of an inch and you're going to be set. But with all that being said, the other buttons are going to be your brightness controls, your sound controls, and then this is your automatic keystone correction button that will make it have that automatic correcting rectangular image. Last thing to mention, on the back side here, we have a standard tripod mount. So especially for presentation use cases, you can just put this. It only weighs about 2.5 pounds, so it's super lightweight. So your mobile standard, like lightweight mobile full-size tripod will support this no problem. So yeah, I'll pause there and see if you have any questions, and I'll turn this on.
And as far as connecting it, like my phone is a Type-C connector, like most phones are. Is there a cable that comes with the packaging that will make connect, or do you need to buy another cable?
Yes, so it'll actually come with what I have right here standard. I just have standard HDMI cable, and then it will come with this adapter that is HDMI to USB-C.
Ah, sweet.
So
Awesome.
you can plug it into a tablet or phone, and ultimately, you know, you can buy these that don't have to have the adapter. They're just straight USB-C to HDMI.
Yeah.
Same thing with like a lightning adapter, works great with iPhones. But yeah, as long as you've got your connection on one side and an HDMI on the other, you're going to be able to plug in no problem.
You know, we still got a couple of weeks before the Super Bowl, so you don't even need to go and buy, you know, a big TV set. You get this projected on your wall.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I use it personally. That's always like my trick is get your company to buy it for your presentations with the caveat that you get to keep it at home. Because then you can use it, you know, tailgating, use it. I watch all sorts of football and basketball games on this on my back porch. It works great for that. It'll work outside. If you're in direct sunlight, you'll notice a little bit of image washout, but nothing that wouldn't be comparable on a traditional screen. You're just going to be looking at a mirror image of yourself. If you've got sunlight on a normal TV screen, it just basically turns into a mirror. So I would say we do get some pretty good image resolution in the sunlight, better than you would expect. But in an outdoor use case, if you have any kind of shade, it's still going to pop phenomenally well.
That's awesome. So I'll let you go ahead and demonstrate it here.
Yeah, so super easy to use, honestly. I just have it on right now. That banding you're just seeing because we're on camera, obviously.
Yeah.
But all I need to do is just plug in my HDMI in the back. And then as soon as I'm plugged in, it's just going to operate as a secondary monitor.
There we go. What's the resolution?
So it's going to be full HD. It's 1920 by 1080. But due to the nanomaterial screen that we use, you're actually going to get visuals that are going to be even slightly higher than it looks, because it causes those peak wavelengths to basically be pulled out and pop a little more than they would naturally on any other surface. So that nanomaterial screen is a really important innovation to this, and ultimately an impact resistant screen as well. So that's something that I really like about this is, you know, a traditional screen is going to have issues with if you're ever having any, if you're ever having any, you know, impact on a screen and it breaks in the field, you're kind of out of luck. Whereas this can be replaced and the projector is still going to be fine. So we could even offer like a spares kit if you're somebody that's using this on the go a lot, like in the field, photography, etc. And this were to get perforated for some reason, you could swap this in a matter of minutes and have an operational screen still. And like I mentioned, I mean, this thing is highly, highly durable. It's like a rubberized screen. And it basically has the ability to stay wrinkle free no matter how long you have it folded up. So there's actually a ton of innovation and patents that went into just the screen that we have here. And more innovation to come in the future to get even higher resolution and even better color like impact. So I mentioned the, you know, and I'm just going to collapse this down and put it right in my case and I'm done. So it literally takes me a matter of about 5 seconds to get it in and out. If I want to pull it up out of my case, grab the handle in the back, and I've got a TV and I'm ready to rock. So really super easy. You can learn it in a matter of minutes. And really, when it comes down to it, we are listening to what our users want to use it for. So like we're going to have it so that it has less depth. That's something that we're working toward. We're going to have it so it has touchscreen functionality. And we're also going to lean into our nanomaterial engineering so you can use it in direct sunlight with no color washout at all. So yeah, certainly places that we're looking to take this product, but right now the Splay is super easy to use, super easy to transport, and ultimately kind of creating a new market that no one even knew there was existing out in the world.
Are you guys going to go on Shark Tank?
You know, we've been in that vicinity before. I believe we didn't fit one of the criteria of Shark Tank. I know Alex was approached by that team a couple years ago, but I can't remember what it was. But something our company just didn't align with the type of companies that they had on there. But you know, we are in that world of raising capital. So if you're watching this video and you think this is a great product, I mean, we've really vetted this industry in a way that no one has done before and have a really clear roadmap through our interaction with government entities, the low vision industry, and then that trade show industry. We've really kind of created a pathway to have a sustainable business, to provide all kinds of splays, all kinds of functionalities and sizes for those use cases.
Well, great. Well, kudos to you and Alex. If you have a chance to watch this, it's amazing. Bravo. Big clap. And I look forward to seeing what's coming. I will be sure to put my referral link in the description as well as in the comment section so you all can order it, learn more, and feel free to leave any questions, and I'll get back with Taylor if there are any questions that you might have. And Taylor, thank you so much for joining me today. Really excited to start using mine now that I just got it, and I'll be putting out some other videos as well. So thanks so much again, Taylor. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on, Sid, and I hope you have a good one.
You too. Thank you.